Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you a few different ways on how you can start the 5-out basketball offense. Now, the issue with the 5-out is a lot of younger players, they'll dribble the ball down court, they'll get in one of these 5 spots, and then they freeze. The other teammates freeze because they just don't move. So if you've got a younger team that has that issue where they dribble down and then they just kind of stand there and say, oh, what do? We're in our spots, and now I got nowhere to pass to because everyone's in deny. Well, guess what? You can actually do this. Player 1 will sprint towards the ball. He's the point man. And then player 3 is going to dribble towards player 1. This is going to be a dribble handoff, and player 3 will roll towards the basket. You have now created offense out of nothing. And now with player 3 rolling towards the basket, you're going to have player 1 quickly try and pass down towards the corner. And now player 2 is going to fill up. Player 5 is going to fill up because that's the simple 5-out offense. By the way, go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below. But now player 4 has the option to pass to player 3 who's cutting. And because player 1 just passed, he's also going to be cutting as well. And now player 4 has 2 different options. He can hit player 3 or he can hit player 1. Meanwhile, player 3 is going to clear out, player 1 is going to clear out if they are not open, and player 2 is going to sprint over towards this wing. Player 5 is going to cover the point, player 3 is going to go up to the wing, and player 1 is going to go out towards the corner. Look at all of this movement that we just created out of nothing. So if you have that issue where players just stand still and now they got to pass that ball quick to player 2 because player 2 just sprinted to that side. At this time, player 4 cuts. Depending on how your offense is, he can pop back out. And now player 2 can pass to player 5 or pass to player 4, and you can continue your 5-out offense. If the ball is stuck, another way that you can start the 5-out offense or just continue the 5-out offense is for player 2 to call pin. Now, while this may be deceiving in a way, you can run pin a few different ways. So if the ball is up at the point and they call pin, this would be a pin down screen for players 3 and 2. Players 4 and 1 will then pop up to the wings, and players 2 and 3 may be able to roll towards the basket if that option is open. And this gives player 5 multiple different options to pass to, and then they can reset. But if the ball was over here, and let's say we made a mistake and we called pin, I don't want any of my players to think, oh, well, this is the wrong spot. Well, guess what? They can easily just screen away, and this gives options for a player 4. He could pass, in this case, to player 1 or to player 3. Even though this is not a pin down screen, you're still screening away. So you could even make this even less confusing and just say screen away, screen away, screen away. You could call it that, where now no matter where that ball is, the 2 players who are furthest away from the ball can set screens away. So for example, if the ball was in the corner and we're calling screen away, player 3 can set that screen for player 1, and because in the 5-out offense you have to pretend that it's one big circle, player 2 would be the next away from player 4. You could set that back screen, and now that's giving options for players 1 and 5 to potentially be open for either a layup or a wing 3-point shot. Now, one of my most favorite ways of being able to start a 5-out offense is by the point guard taking control, dribbling over towards player 3, telling player 3 to cut to the basket so that now player 4 moves up. And now it's a 4-1 dribble handoff. Player 3 needs to clear out. And now player 1 rolls towards the basket. Player 4 then dribbles up top. And he could hit player 1 on the roll. Now, of course, player 4 needs to get to the point. Player 3 needs to then lift up to the 3-point line. With player 1 cutting, his defender may be popping off away from player 3, which would then allow that reverse pass back to player 3 for potentially a 3-point shot because his man was probably in help defense on player 1. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below. I hope that these options help you start the 5-out offense because yes, while the 5-out offense is a fantastic offense that every single coach uses, it can get stagnated and freeze quite easily. These are ways that you can get out of a frozen 5-out. Anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, go check out the complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below.